Hello, basketball fans. It's Dave with Fantasy Basketball Analyzer, and I'm back and fatter than ever. I mean, better than ever. I'm back from vacation, so it's probably both. Uh, so I'm catching up on everything that's been going on in hoops since I've been gone, and I'm going to try and have some more content to you that's not just schedule related, like I was able to do last week. Um, but with that said, media is all in a hubbub about schedules or rest schedules. So I figured we should take a little time to get into what the Clipper schedule actually looks like rather than just huffing and puffing about someone missing a nationally televised game. But first, beer. Today's beer is What Was That? By Royal Oak Brewing. And for that, I'm nominating a play by Kawhi Leonard against the Bucks in last night's game. Let's go to the clip. That's right. He didn't play last night, and that's what has the media all in a hissy fit. That the NBA has two nationally televised games in a row, and the guy who's been resting on back-to-backs is going to rest during a back-to-back. So nothing shocking, nothing breaking news. But despite all of the nonsense that's what I consider nonsense going on about it, I understand it. I would have loved to have seen him play the Bucks. But so be it. What it actually affects more than anything is probably your fantasy team. If you have Kawhi or Paul George when he gets back, the Clippers aren't playing to win Wednesday night. They're playing to try and win a title. So this isn't going to be the end of players resting. So let's take a look at what their schedule actually is. They have 13 back-to-back games this season. We're already through 2 of them. Kawhi rested both of them. So if we take a look, the next one, so next week he doesn't have any back-to-back, so presumably he'll play all 4 games. Nothing's known. I mean, he could, slip on ice and be injured at any time. I guess probably not as likely at the Clippers, but so if you're looking at it, here's the schedule, and I went ahead and listed out the teams they're playing and also what days of the week these are on. Unfortunately, a decent amount of them seem to be on Friday, Saturday, or Saturday, Sunday, probably because they're a headliner team. So it's not like anyone in weekly lock leagues could count on a Monday, Tuesday back-to-back, and so they would know if he was playing Monday or already going to rest before he could lock it. But, it is what it is. This is kind of the age we're in now, and for the daily change leagues, it's probably preferable if he's taking these games off, because it's more important that Kawhi gets through the whole season for you than it is that he takes off some games. So you kind of get to look at it from both ways. I mean, Kawhi's passing's been up. I think his passing looked really good in the finals last year. He's not a player I really ever thought of as a passer, but he wasn't getting numbers like this. So if he's going to get you those assists when he's on the court, he's still Kawhi Leonard, but it is going to affect your schedule. So if you notice specifically in week 7, that's where I think the real issue is going to be. It's listed as a 4-game week, but it's 2 sets of back-to-backs. So if he is literally going to sit out every back-to-back, which I should take a minute and say, he set out 2 of the back-to-backs that he had. Yeah, that's 100% that he's had on the Clippers, but it allows us to use everyone's favorite logical fallacy, post hoc ergo propter hoc. Like, it happened before, so it's happening again. Hold on. As an aside, I just wanted to reference that for all my West Wing fans out there. But really, that's not the logical fallacy that applies here. What this is begging the question. Because he sat out 2 of them, we're just assuming this is true with no other evidence. We don't know it, but let's prep for that scenario so that you can schedule your season. So if we switch over to looking at the entire grid, I went ahead and highlighted all the way down the Clippers schedule any game where Kawhi had a back-to-back. Well, where the Clippers have a back-to-back, where right now we're kind of assuming Kawhi's not going to play in one of them if you're a Kawhi owner. and potentially Paul George. We don't know until he's back. Are they going to set them both on the same game, stagger them? Maybe Paul George won't be limited like that. We have no idea. But so prepping for it, the upside is most of the weeks that he's got back-to-backs, he has 4 games. So that shifts him down to 3 games, and he's still totally playable. You don't really have to worry about it because he's in the mix with all the other people at 3 games, and he's still a superstar putting up great numbers. Now, where the issue could come in is in week 8, where he's got the Wizards Pacers bridging Sunday, Monday, and then he has a later back-to-back. If he sits that Monday on December 9th, he potentially could sit either the Wolves or the Bulls, and then you're only going to be getting like 2 games out of him instead of 4. So that's going to be the big issue. So the Kawhi owners might want to look ahead and see who you have on your roster planning for the week of December 9th. So a lot of teams, almost all the teams, have 4 games that week. And then we've got Dallas, Portland, San Antonio, Washington, who all have 2-game weeks. So you're going to really lose out if you think you're getting 4 from Kawhi and you're only getting 2 in the weekly lock leagues. So you want to look ahead, make sure you've got some contingency plan. That's a month away. You're not picking someone up off the waivers now for something that might be an issue a month from now, but it's something to be aware of. Maybe set yourself a calendar reminder on Thanksgiving that you need to start going ahead and looking out 2 weeks to see, do I have a plan? Did someone get hurt? Am I going to be totally screwed if I don't have a player I can plug in there? So the big grid's a little cluttered. I wanted to show it so we had context of everything else that was going on that week. But if we switch it down to the general view, now down here at the bottom, here's the Clippers schedule all laid out the way I normally would present our schedule on the weekly videos. It's also worth noting on Yahoo, at least now this season, you can move your playoffs up to the 20th. Sorry, week 20, I should say. So you can look there at the remainder of the schedule, 3, supposed 4, 3. Another trouble week because it's 3 games, but back-to-backs in there, so that might only be 2 in week 25 and then week 26. Depending on when your playoffs fall, this could be real trouble because that 3-4-3-3 schedule he has at the end of the season, there's back-to-backs in there again. So if you're in a weekly lock league, they're going to be getting ready for, unless something goes horribly wrong or they're fighting for an important seed and home court advantage, there's a chance they really want to be resting him for the coming playoffs to make up for all the minutes he's going to play. So Kawhi's not really a great playoff option, despite the schedule looking like that. On the flip side, for anyone who's still watching this and doesn't own Kawhi or Paul George, there's value here. If we can kind of look ahead to see when Kawhi might not be playing, that can prep you in the daily change leagues or in DFS lineups for someone who's going to get a lot of extra minutes. They're not going to be resting Lou Williams on the same night as Kawhi in all likelihood. I get they're playing different positions, but if Kawhi's out, there's a lot more minutes to be gobbled up. And so there's, fantasy goodness to be there for daily fantasy matchups. Overall, he's doing great. And there's just such a hubbub about this. I wanted to take the time to kind of create the tools to give you the lineup, breaking down when. So there's 11 more games with a back-to-back. So when exactly they came, who they're facing up against, so you can look ahead. We don't know that he's going to miss all of them. But this way, you're at least armed with that information if you're a Kawhi, Paul George, or any other Clipper owner. Just to kind of look ahead and say, oh, he might be resting, or hey, he might be resting, so I'm going to get extra minutes. Something kind of have in your back pocket and kind of maybe try and look at the week before. So when you're setting, your week 7 lineup, to look ahead and be like, do I need to be looking at waivers? Do I need to be thinking about week 8? What's going on with the back-to-backs there? He's not the only player who's going to rest. It was a nationally televised game and it was on ESPN, so maybe I'm being a little cynical. The game got a little more overblown because it was their game that got missed. And, it would have been great to see him play against the Bucks rather than playing against Portland tonight. But this is what we're going to expect. They're trying to win a championship, and they want to keep him healthy. If one leg's hurting, he's compensating, he's making the left knee sore now, then there's bigger fish to fry. So, all right. Thanks again for watching. Quick one today. Hopefully that helps some of you out there, or helps just maybe bring a little sanity to the hubbub. And I'll be back soon with more.